Hello everyone, I'm Black Marvin. I'm a progressive psychedelic trance artist. I'm a professional sound designer and I'm also a teacher for electronic music production. Today I can't get this smile off my face because a couple days ago Serum 2 has been released. Just saying Serum 2 kind of feels joyful and weird at the same time because it's been like kind of a prophecy and a dream at the same time because Serum played such a big role in electronic music production that having like the version 2 of this would mean something big, right? And truly it is, making Serum 2, the first version of Serum had such a big impact on electronic music. The wavetable synthesis existed before, but the way it was brought inside Serum really made it accessible and it changed a lot of things, right? So making version 2 of that, yeah, actually, if you go watch, I made a video a couple moments ago already. It's a comparison between Vital Faceplant Penguins and Serum. And there's some stuff I say I like about Serum. There's some stuff I say I don't like about Serum. And there's some stuff I say I would like to see in Serum too. And yeah, lots of stuff is fixed for me now. And a lot of the things I wanted to see in the version 2 of Serum is there. And, speaking of the Granular engine, the Spectral engine, the Arpeggiator, but I don't want to spoil a lot of what's coming up because my take today is my favorite features. There's already some artists I like viewing that made some really great videos about it, including Virtual Riot that made a full walkthrough. Your boy Dash Glitch made a cool video on the Granular engine. So my take today is really my favorite features and already how I already started using them in sound design. So if you need some granular sources to fuel your Serum 2, or if you need some wavetables that are going to sound really, really juicy inside Serum 2, you can check at fractalsounds.ca. There's both of these things, and they're optimized to work in all of the wavetable and granular compatible synths, including Serum 2. So don't forget to check that out. Links in the description, all these things. And obviously, there's some content coming up for Serum 2, so check that out as well. And now let's dive into, just feels so good to say it, let's dive into Serum 2. All right, Serum 2 in its full glory. Those are my favorite features. I'm going to start with the first one, and it's got to be the Granular engine. I was expecting a Granular engine, and we got one, and it sounds clean, it sounds efficient. It's really cool. Also, one thing I like about it is that if you go here, I like how Steve just assumed that we could want to try our wavetables inside the granular oscillator. So, this is something I do, something I've done inside Faceplant, for example. Like I've just tried and dragged and dropped some of my wavetables in granular mode. But I like that here is just like, yeah, you should definitely do it. Like it's baked in the synth already. You can just quickly go and choose your wavetables. Now, one thing I like, if you've been following this channel and what I do, I like granular synthesis a lot. And what I like to do is create my own granular sources. So I'm going to show you really quickly some of my granular sources in there. It's going to come from the pack Mycological Granular Collection. And I'm basically rebundling the pack for Serum 2 and all the synths. Because right now, what I have is I have a version for Faceplant, I have versions for Pigments, but truly now it's just I'm going to bundle all this into one collection that you guys can have. And obviously, if you own it already, you can just download the whole bundle that is going to be bundled for everything. So I've got a Dragonfly sources from Mycological. And another thing, it might sound really silly, maybe for someone, but one thing I really like is that what I did is I went here, I went and clicked load sample. Then I selected in the browser, the Windows browser, I selected it and I clicked load sample. And now automatically Serum assume that I might also want to cycle through the other ones, so I can really just click here and it's gonna take everything that's inside the same folder and I can cycle quickly through it. It might sound silly, but when you're a sound designer, not all synths do that. In some synths, if it's not like imported through the synth, which is not right now, it's not. I just went and load sample, and it's not like here. I can easily make it appear here, but my point is like honestly, organization wise, if you're a sound designer, you're making preset, you're crafting content, this is really super cool. So let's listen to this Dragonfly source. So honestly, these mycological sources, they're just so like they're plug and play really. It's just almost like a preset right there. But I really like the fact it's not all granular engine that are like that amount of plug and play and great quality right off the bat, by the way. Second feature I really like is this warp mode. First, there's two warp modes, and there's much more. There's the FM, and you've probably heard that they switched the PD and FM thing. I really like that. Another thing I like is that now we have these filter as warp modes. So now we also have three oscillators. So if you want to stack one oscillator that is going to be just for like an additional texture, like not the main one, an additional texture. It's great. You can high pass or low pass, so you can have just like a band of the spectrum. It's a really cool feature. So I like the warps. If you want to see more of this in the stream, I take a deeper look at these. But I want to mention that there's just a lot of stuff here. Also, I wanted to show, now I'm still in Granular, but if you load a wavetable, I'm going to take Quantum Fold, holograms, one hologram. Let's try that. That's nice. Now let's try some FM with the warp mode. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. So loading wavetables in granular mode, also a feature I really like. Now Spectral. I really like this type of synthesis. It reminds me of Iris from Isotope, like image type synthesis. And it's insane. Also, one thing I really appreciate is that I switched to Spectral and it just kept the wavetable that I had chosen. So let's just see how this sounds. It's crazy. Honestly, I'm just I'm amazed. Like Serum 2 is exactly what I wanted it to be. It's amazing. Another feature I like is this filter that is a spectral filter, and you can draw your spectral filter shape right here. There's also some really cool factory shapes as well. So for fun, let's just put an LFO there, like a slowly evolving LFO. But yeah, for atmosphere, it's just crazy, crazy potential. So I'm going to go into the effects section. I'm going to continue on that preset or that sound, whatever that is. And it's going to be just an excuse to show you one of the other feature I really like. That is the convolver reverb. This is convolve, but it's definitely like a convolution type reverb. So it goes like this, and then you're going to load your impulse response. You can choose a factory impulse response. So basically, those are like, you can picture these as reverb prints, reverb behavior prints captured into a signal. Let's just say it that way. There's definitely some videos that goes deeper into the convolution process, not the goal today. But yeah, and also I've made some personal ones. I'm gonna load first. Let's load a factory one, like well, like a medium one maybe. So you can choose the size, you can choose the tone. So it's like a temperature, so much more tilted towards the high frequencies or tilted towards the low frequencies. You can choose the attack of this impulse response, how it's going to behave, and the decay. So you can also make it short. And let's load one of mine that aren't, it's not released yet, but you know, with this, I might just finish the pack, the impulse response pack. I think it's worth it. So this one is called Storm Sludgy Glitch 7, and it's just some kind of sludgy reverb glitch. You can hear it's kind of a sludgy, swampy kind of impulse response, and it's glitchy in some ways. Honestly, I could do a full video on the convolve. Let me know if you want to see that. But this is amazing. And also, continuing in the effects, let's load a reverb. I'm not sure. I should go check back the video that I made about, you know, the comparison I did with Serum, Faceplant, Pigments, and Vital. If I have not mentioned the reverb, well, it's something I had in my mind about Serum, is that the reverb was pretty much bleh. But now it's great. It's the algorithm sounds great. There's more algorithms. It's just better, honestly. Sometimes I wonder if it's placebo, but I'm pretty sure it's not, honestly. It just feels and sounds better. I'm pretty sure it's better. This is just my feeling at this stage, but it feels less algorithmic, more natural. And I like the fact that there's more algorithms. Moving on to another feature, which is insanely cool, and it's the splitter. So if you understand what this implies, is that you can split your signal into a low band, mid band, high band, and then is just branch out into new sort of channels, or it's really, it splits the signal into three band, or in this case it's three band, but you can split it in mid side. I play a bit more with this in the stream I did. I suggest you go watch it, but man, creatively speaking, there's so many possibilities about that. And yeah, you can see right now everything you want to put here in split. You could do like a mid-side compression. You could have different reverb algorithms for the mid and different reverb algorithms for the side. Like in terms of spatiality, like spatialization, or just like the way you use space, it just brings a whole new level of possibility. So for fun, let's just do a bit of three band splitting. So an example I did in the stream, I suggest you go watch it, but I placed, well, once again, something new, which is the diffuser filter, which sounds a lot like what disperser from kilohertz does to the sound. And you can basically multi-band that. Now, if you hit Alt and Shift, you can copy it. And now we have basically a multi-band diffuser. But wait, there's more. We could put a chorus there too. I might put the chorus on the mid band. That might be a bit more clean and more expressive on the mid band. And I'm going to put it after the filter. Now, another thing we could do is, let's say you're doing some atmosphere stuff and you could have some long filter sweeps, but each band is going to have a different filter sweep, so it adds to the complexity of the soundscape you're creating. So I'm currently on the mid band and I'm going to take multi-normal. Let's take like a huge band pass. This is not new, the band pass per se, but the possibility of splitting the band is. Then let's put another filter on the high band. But this one I'm going to, and also what's really cool is that it copied with the same modulation already copied. Gonna do remove all modulator, and I'm going to do just a different modulation setup for this high band. And I'm going to do the same thing for the low band. So another filter, another modulation. Well, now what I have is 3 different filters on each band with independent modulation from each other. So it adds randomness and just complexity. And I would put this before the reverb. So right now you can see in the chain. Just going to put that here. And the thing with this example is that we see some instability, which is great, perfect for demonstrating one of the perks of this. And the instability is because of the filtering process is never the same across all bands. This is something pretty natural that you're going to experience if you do that kind of sound design. And now what's really cool is that, yeah, I'm laughing because I'm so happy that I can do that now. Much more control on the sound. I'm going to add a compressor on each band to level things out. So now compressor here, and I'm gonna adjust the threshold so that it's being kept in place now. Then I'm gonna copy this to all the bands. Just gonna run through each band, make sure the setup is optimized. And then I'm gonna add one after the reverb. So we shouldn't have any more of these anomalies in the spectrum. So a much more controlled soundscape. This is one example, and I could do. I'm gonna do more content about Serum, to stay tuned on the channel. But another thing I really like, and that was like literally a request that I had, and wanted, like, this needed to happen, is that now you can use all of these modules and you can stack them. And you cannot stack splitters, and I get it. I get why, like, it's a lot. But let's say you want 4 filters back to back. Well, you can. That's a flanger though, but yeah, get the point. Now you have all this and you can push the sound to its limits. So last feature I really like is, well, I like the new filters. The diffuser filter is awesome. I'm going to completely change the setup so I could demonstrate to you like properly what the diffuser does. So that's a saw wave, right? Let's take the diffuser. It sounds so much like the disperser and what it does. So it's just really nice to have it in here in the Serum, like this Serum mechanics. It's just so nice. That's another feature I really like. And the last one is the wasp filter. I'm saying wasp because like I would say, I've heard Zen World assume that, and I would honestly assume the same thing, but maybe it's something different. But the WSP filter, it's a, well, it's like this, it's not SEM per se, but it's one of those filters that, like with the morph, you can make it morph through a low pass-ish behavior, through a high pass behavior, and you can have this sort of notch. But it's juicy. I like juicy filters, and it's something, you know, when it comes to Vital, it's something I was, that was a negative for me with Vital. It sounded too digital, too dry, but with these types of filters, you can bring some of the analogish ish behavior inside synths like these. So just really like this one. Sounds super fat. I've played a lot with this one in the stream I did. And now I really need to mention the art before I finish. This is something I've been requesting. This is something I've been like really tired in some ways of, like I knew it was possible to do some arpeggiators inside Serum. I've done it in the past, but it just felt like why isn't there any arpeggiator, like built-in stuff? It's just like it's very important to have that, and now it's here, and it's here more than ever because you have many features, many patterns. And so this is arpeggiating, right? But you know what, you want to bring your own clip, you want to bring your own MIDI behavior. Well, why the fuck not? You can now. And that's insane. You can also, I've tested it. You can drag and drop some MIDI content in there. So this is going to make preset creation a real delight. And yeah, this is insane. So those are just some of the features. Those are my favorite ones. There's much more than this. I'm not claiming to do an overview of all the features. That was not the point of this video. But everything I've shown today, to me, in my next sound design work, this is going to make a solid difference, and this is going to help me push stuff way beyond. This is some serious stuff, guys. So yeah, Serum 2. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Also, it's weird, but like in some ways, Serum 2 is amazing, but it's not, it's perfectly enough. I don't know if you understand what I mean. It's like it could also have been like too different from the version 1, but it also feels like a logical next step for Serum. I don't know if you understand what I mean. I feel it's really like the logical evolution of Serum, and I was expecting that as well. I was expecting like the second version to still be in the pioneering spirit of what Serum is. So if you liked this video, if you like sound design, you like Serum too, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video. There's more of that coming up for sure. If you need some help with electronic music production, I'm running a mentorship program and it's free. Now, the final version of it, it's free. You get 1 group lesson per month, and there's more help if you need some. You can get some feedback. You can get some private lessons, some mixing and mastering, all kinds of help in there. And there's a community of like-minded producers as well. So I'm going to see you soon in another video. Happy producing.